All right, hello everyone, this is Dr. Jawad. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button, please leave a comment, and please subscribe, because when I upload videos like this, you'll be first to be notified. I got an email from a viewer, thank you very much, and he was asking about some natural treatments for OCD because he does not want to take any medications that will slow his body down. Okay, so when it comes to OCD, now again, we all have bits and pieces of obsessive compulsive disorder. We all think about stuff. When I leave the house, oh my God, did I leave that on? Did I leave the stove on? Let me go back. Let me see, is my refrigerator running? Oh my God, it is. Where is it going? It's an old joke. But when it comes to OCD, is it taking over your life? Now, when it comes to obsessive compulsive disorder, basically it's a combination of obsessions, which are unwanted thoughts, meaning recurrent, intrusive thoughts, unwanted. Now, compulsions, obsessive compulsion, this is the actions. This is the actions to reduce anxiety from the obsession. So when it comes down to, for example, like afraid of germs, okay, the germs are the obsession. So the compulsion is constantly washing your hands. So they're always clean, they're always clean, and they're always clean. So that's where, but also it could take over your life where you're always washing your hands, you're always checking the door, you're always doing this, you're always blowing out the candle. So when it comes to OCD, yes, we do have obsessions, yes, we do have compulsions, but does it take over your life? The diagnosis is anxiety. It's an anxiety disorder that's characterized by unwanted fears, obsessions, and beliefs that drive the compulsive behavior. Remember, we're all wondering once we leave, did we leave the sink on? Did we leave the curling iron on? Did we leave, the light on? We all worry about that. Okay, now the five most common OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder actions are: 1, organization. Now again, remember, we all have these, but does it take over our life? Organization, things are in the right place. This is kind of me. I kind of have this because I always like to know that the remote control is over there. In my office, I want to know where everything is in its place so I don't have to worry about, okay, where is this? Where's the reflex hammer? Where's this? And so forth and so on. Contamination. These are, again, wash your hands. It's always dirty. You're washing and cleaning your hands frequently. Intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts, these are the unwanted thoughts. Now again, we all have these type of thoughts, but we do have a mechanism in our brain that kind of says, okay, let's back off a little bit. Ruminations. Ruminations, these are the dark thoughts. These are the thoughts that you're constantly thinking the same thoughts, sad or dark. And I have a couple patients of mine, these are the ones who believe that they're never going to get better. They're always in pain. I'm never going to get better. I guess this is my life. No, it's not. No, it's not. And sometimes it's all in your head. But with the OCD, with the obsessive compulsive, they get trapped up in this loop. Checking. These are ones, again, checking about causing damage or harm, being careless. This is a person who's always checking doors, making sure the light's on, the light's off, the light's off, light's on. If you've ever seen the movie As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson, great movie. It really ties into a lot of what the OCD behaviors, really how it kind of takes over your life. Great movie, good actors. Okay, so let's talk about the cause. Now we have a lot of neurotransmitters in our body that either excites it or it calms it down. Now the cause is you have an imbalance of these neurotransmitters. 2 in particular are called, 1, serotonin, which calms you down, and vasopressin, or antidiuretic hormone, which again too, it lowers your blood pressure. Could be multiple causes. 1, genetics. Okay, it just could be in you. Also 2, brain. I'll get to this in a second. We have what's called the basal ganglion thalamus, and it works with the brainstem, and there's a loop that will either excite you, and also too, it modulates it to calm you down. And I'll get to that in a minute. History of trauma. Do you have a history of trauma? PTSD, divorce, abuse, neglect, family death. A lot of this childhood trauma, a lot of this, they say in theory, is a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism due to fear-based. PTSD, childhood trauma, childhood neglect. You're always checking things as a coping mechanism when it comes to OCD. Okay, so this is my makeshift picture of the brain, and when it comes to information in the brain, a normal brain, everything is going to come in, so to speak, normally. The information is going to come in, it's going to be processed normally, and we're going to make a decision on the information. Okay, am I afraid of the Chihuahua dog? No, I'm not. Okay, is the world going to end tomorrow? No, it's not. Am I going to get gangrene or an infection because my hand is dirty? No, it's not. Okay, so it all kind of modulates, but with an OCD brain, it's kind of like the circuitry is just not firing correctly. Serotonin vasopressin. So we have a structure called the limbic system. The limbic system, this is our emotional brain. This is our behavior and emotional responses. The limbic system is basically our survival mechanism. Okay, you have your emotions, you have your memory, you have your arousal. Now arousal not meaning sexual, arousal meaning you're awake. Okay, you're awake, you're aware. And the function again is it helps the body learn and remember information. Survival based. Am I going to put my hand on the fire and get burned? Am I going to die walking across the road? No, it's not. So when it comes to the function of the brain, I'm going to start from the front and work all the way backwards. So we have an area in the frontal area, the prefrontal cortex, called the orbitofrontal cortex. This is the first part of the brain. Now again, this is developed by the age of 25. So under the age of 25, typically, again, don't mark me on it, typically we make the decisions based on emotions and morals. This is why youngsters really don't make the best decisions, okay? But it's like they don't know any better, okay? So when it comes to a normal brain, it integrates sensory information, makes decisions, anticipates rewards and punishments. With the OCD brain, it's dysregulated. It detects an error where there isn't one. So it's sending the wrong signal, like a worry signal, a worry signal, a worry signal. Because the calm me down is when you're bringing the information in, is it friend or foe? The basal ganglia. The basal ganglia is involved with coordination, movement. I always say kind of like how the brain is on or it's off. So on a normal functioning brain, the compulsive thinking, the compulsive worrying, the compulsive judgment, the compulsive, hand washing, we have a flip switch, I always say, that's either on or it's off. When it comes to the basal ganglia and OCD brain, that flip switch is like on a dim. So what's going to happen with a normal brain? It controls movements, thinking, and judgment. Okay. With an OCD brain, it causes reflexive or repetitive behaviors. Because why? Because it's not turned on or off. It's like on a dim. So this is where the compulsive thinking comes in, the worrying, the actions, because, hey, chill out, chill. It doesn't work that way. Another part of the limbic system is called the cingulate gyrus. Now, again, the limbic system, this is our emotional. Normal brain adds the emotional responses to thoughts. Yay, okay, that's great. With the OCD brain, it adds emotions like disgust, guilt, to anxious thoughts. So this is the bad thinking, the constant worrying, I'm never going to get better. The world's going to end tomorrow. The caudate nucleus, this is part of the basal ganglia which controls this involved with movement. Now, in a normal brain, it processes and filters information and it removes unwanted thoughts. Okay, yeah, so we're going to go downtown where there's a lot of different people there. Nothing's going to happen. We're okay. OCD brain fails to filter the anxious thoughts. So you see these people like maybe in crowds, they get really, really worried. They don't like crowds. They get worried about crowds. Maybe they had an experience in battle, in war. These war heroes, thank you very much. Oftentimes they don't like crowds. Or if they hear, the 4th of July fireworks, again, it's PTSD. They start worrying. Why? Because again, it fails to filter the anxious thoughts. So when all these parts start to malfunction, inappropriate information is passed through the system, so then the person becomes overwhelmed by their thoughts and actions. Basically it's a limbic loop. The basal ganglia and the limbic system, which controls the thought patterns and the yes and no, on and off, just is malfunctioning. So then how do you treat it naturally? Okay, so then now what do we do? So when it comes to the treatment protocol with OCD, there's many different ways to help treat somebody who has OCD. And it all depends really on the extent of it. So first and foremost, I always say clean up diet, get rid of the wheat, the gluten, the sugar, the peanuts, any type of pro-inflammatory foods, because what that does to a normal brain is going to wreak havoc on a brain that's already kind of dysfunctional. But when it comes to support, psychological support, and social groups, social support is always a benefit when it comes to any type of mental health disorder, or if you're just lonely. Get some support, first and foremost. One of the things that with the psychological support, yes, medications, but if you choose not to do medications, cognitive behavior therapy, CBT-based therapy is phenomenal to help rewire and calm down the brain that is just overactive with obsessive thoughts and compulsions. Next, reduce anxiety. Try to reduce anxiety. It doesn't matter what type of anxiety it is. The anxiety is there. It's how we handle it. That is the issue. Because when it comes to anxiety, you're looking at stress. When it comes to reducing anxiety, stress increases cortisol, which increases adrenaline, which zaps the brain function anyways. So it doesn't matter if you have OCD or you don't. When it comes to stress, it just seems like your life gets crazy, and that's due to that previous loop right here, okay? Because when it comes to the prefrontal cortex, this helps calm things down. Diet, wheat, gluten, sugar, dairy, processed food, all that increases inflammation of the brain, which in turn decreases its function. Foods. Have foods high in B vitamins. The B complex panel is amazing, especially when it comes to B1. B vitamins, grass-fed beef, again, the wild poultry, wild-caught fish, salmon, green leafy vegetables, things like that. You want foods high in antioxidants, which is the veggies and the fruits. High in omega-3s, which is the wild-caught fish, particularly salmon. Foods high in magnesium. Why? Because magnesium naturally calms our system anyways. And that's leafy green vegetables, nuts like avocados, pecans, walnuts, and avocados. Exercise. Exercise is key because exercise releases endorphins, and endorphins naturally calms the system as is. But sometimes exercise in general could just calm down the stress levels because you're doing something. You could think about things, you get distracted. Now when it comes to exercise, you can also do like Tai Chi, meditation, more of the slow moving exercises, yoga, hot yoga, because it also too, they'll help calm down the system, re-regulate it, rewire it. In addition to sleep. Sleep deprivation, what that does, it increases that anticipation anxiety. When you're deprived of sleep, you're going to naturally have higher cortisol. Because even though you make the cortisol, you're not really utilizing it. Okay? So what happens is that now you have all this free-floating cortisol, and what's going to go on, it's going to amp up the brain. Now it comes to supplementation. Supplementation, there's a lot of supplements you could take. This is my handful list. B vitamins, especially B1. Thiamine is phenomenal for the mitochondrial system. What you want to do, 500 milligrams, first thing in the morning. It's a B vitamin, it's water soluble, you can't take it without food. That will help with the brain, with the mitochondria to amp it up so the brain increases its function. Omega-3s, omega-3 fatty acids. There's plenty out there, definitely take them. That helps calm down the brain. Zinc. Now again, with the dosage with the zinc, I always recommend about 30 milligrams because you don't want to overdo zinc. Now you would like to do zinc with copper, okay? Zinc with copper, and the dosage is 15 milligrams per 1 gram of copper, so you want to do is 30 milligrams of zinc, you're going to do 2 grams of copper. Taurine. Taurine is phenomenal. No, it doesn't actually produce serotonin, but what it does, it helps with the body's relaxation mechanism. And you're going to get anywhere from 500 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams daily, depending on, again, it's dose dependent. It's an amino acid that helps calm down the system. In addition to N-acetylcysteine, NAC, or glutathione. This helps regulate the system in general. It's good for the liver, it's good for the brain, it's good for your immune system. Anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 milligrams on an empty stomach. Probiotics, fix the gut. If you want to fix your brain, fix your gut. And vitamin D3. Vitamin D3, 10,000 IUs. Vitamin D3 is a pro-hormone, and it's actually going to be good for the brain function. So I hope this video made sense. I know with the OCD brain, it's a lot. There's a lot of different components. But if you have OCD, like many do, again, if you don't want to do the prescription route, definitely try the natural route. All right, so if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Be good.